Hi, and welcome to another session of Digital Making at Home from the Raspberry Pi Foundation. My name's Mark, and today I am joined by a very special guest star. This is my son, Jimmy. So say hello, Jimmy.
Hello.
What we're going to do today, because the theme for the week is care for yourself, I thought I'd make a nice little project where we look at a meadow. We create our own meadow filled with flowers. We might even add a bit of bird song into it as well. Nice, chilled out, relaxing little scene that we're going to make using the programming language Scratch. Because it's Scratch, that's why I brought my son along with me. He's far better at Scratch than I ever will be. So what we're going to do to get started is you're going to have to open up your web browser. So I'm just going to open mine up now. And then I'm going to let Jimmy drive the controls now. So what I'd like you to do is in your web browser, go to rpf.io/DM hyphen and then meadow, M-E-A-D-O. That's it. And hit enter. Now, our internet's a little bit slow at the moment, so this might take... Oh, no, it's quite fast today, isn't it? Yeah. All right, then. So this is the project we're going to make. Jimmy's just going to demonstrate it for you by clicking on the green flag. And there we go. We get this meadow, nice little picture, filled with loads of flowers. And Jimmy can change that slider there. And he can change the number of flowers that appear each time the green flag is clicked. So that's going to be our project for today. If, Jimmy, you could just scroll down to the bottom and go to the introduction. That's it. Now, it's a single-step project, so this is the only page, but up at the top there is a link, rpf.io/DM-meadow-start. So if you click on that link, that's going to take you to our starter project. Okay, and we see we've got our meadows already set up there, and we've got that really big flower in the middle of the screen. Now, I would encourage you to log into Scratch, so you can see in that top right corner, I'm already logged in with my own account. And then you can click on the remix button. So if you could just click that remix button for me, Jimmy. And then that'll be your own project that you'll be able to share. And I'll show you how to share the projects at the end of the video. All right, so start off with, what are we going to do, Jims?
So we're going to start off by going to this events tab. You can either scroll to it or click at the side. We're going to get out this when green flag to click. And we can set the size, because the flower's a bit big, we can set its size to 5% to make it a lot smaller.
All right.
So now when we click the green flag, you can see it's a lot smaller.
Cool. All right then. So that's just one flower we've got there at the moment, isn't it? We want a lot more flowers, really, don't we? So how are we going to make more flowers?
So what we can do is we can clone the sprite. So we can go back to this control tab here.
Yeah.
And there's a create clone of myself.
Okay. So that creates a copy of the sprite each time.
And at the top of the control tab is a repeat loop.
Good.
And we can connect that to the set size, and then we can tell it to create a clone. So now it will create a clone 10 times.
So that creates 10 clones of itself. Okay, but we want to be able to control the number of clones, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we go to this variables tab, there's a variable here called flowers, and whatever we set the slider to is what this variable is equal to. So when we put it in the repeat part, if we set the slider to 15, it will repeat it 15 times.
And create 15 clones. Brilliant. So if you click on that, I should get my 15 clones now. But I don't see them. So why aren't I seeing all the different flowers I produced, or you produced?
So you can't see the different flowers because there is 15 clones, but they're all layered behind this one area, so they're really hard to see.
So they've all got exactly the same X and Y position, so they're all just on top of each other, so it just looks like one flower. So we need to mess around with their X and Y positions, don't we, of all the clones? Okay then. So how are we going to do that? What can we do to get that so that they all go to different random positions?
So we can go to this motion tab right at the top.
Yep.
And we can say go to random position.
And do we want that on that main block, or do we want that to apply to each clone that's created?
So we want this to apply to each clone.
Okay.
So what we can do is we can go back to this control tab where we first got the create clone, and we can say when I start this clone, and tell it to go to a random position.
Brilliant. Okay then. So can I have a look at that? Perfect. All right, let me have a look at what this project looks like when we hit the green flag. Excellent. So I've got all this, the flowers. That's a good idea. There we go. So I've got all my flowers now. They're all being produced in random positions, but some of them are over the sky, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I don't want that. That wasn't what was in the original one. They were all sort of in the grass. So how is it I can I can get that to happen.
So these flowers here are producing at random coordinates.
Yep.
And we can say that if they're going too high by using the y coordinate.
So I don't know whether you can see Jimmy's mouse pointer, but he's over in near the sprites pane, just underneath the stage, and there's a little X with a horizontal arrow and a little Y with a vertical arrow. So every clone has an X and a Y coordinate. All right. We wanted the X's to be random because we want them anywhere horizontally, but we don't want complete randomness in the Y, do we?
No.
So how are we going to limit the Y to keep it sort of on the grass?
So we can tell it to keep producing clones, but to stop once it's underneath, say, a y minus 60.
Good. Okay, then. So show me how to do that then.
So what we can do is we can take this when I start as clone, and we can add in this repeat until loop that we get from the control panel.
Yeah.
And we can put the go to random position. Sorry, no, we can put this underneath the go to random position.
Okay.
And then what we can say is if it's Y position, if the flower's Y position, and we can get Y position from our motion tab, and we can get this less than from the operators tab.
Yep.
So we can say if the flower's Y position is less than minus 60,
Good.
Go to a random position.
So let's just think about that a little bit, because what's the dead centre of the screen in terms of the Y position?
0.
So 0 is the dead centre of the screen. So we want definitely lower than 0. And if we want to go lower than 0, we have to go into minus numbers, into negative numbers. So we start counting backwards by going 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. And Jimmy set this up so that it's the Y position has to be below 60, otherwise it will keep moving to a random position. And as soon as it gets to below minus 60, then that's where the flower will stick. So can I have a look at that now?
Yep.
Just check we've got that working. Brilliant. So now my flowers are all staying on that grassy area. What do I want next? I would like them to be different sizes. Yeah? So how can I do that?
So what you can do is you can go to this looks panel, it's the second from the top, and you can get the change size by block.
Okay.
And if you want them to be random, we have to go back to operators, and we can get out this pick random.
All right then. And what are we going to set those numbers to?
So I'm going to set them to minus 10 to 10.
Yep.
And now you just drag this into the change size by area.
Brilliant.
And you can just put that underneath all of the repeat until, underneath in the when I start as clone.
Okay, so let's have a look at that. Good, so I'm getting some bigger flowers. Shall we just up the number of flowers? That's it. Brilliant. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Right, now then, they're all purple at the moment. Mm-hmm. So can we change that?
Yep, so we can go back to this looks panel. And we can go get this change effect by, and this is automatically set to colour, so we don't have to change this. And we can just put that at the bottom. But we can't leave it like this because all of them will be changed by 25, and when you do that,
I just got all pink.
The same, yeah.
Okay, all right then.
Pink. So we can go to this operators tab again, and we can get another pick random. And I'm going to say change anywhere between 1, so I can leave that at 1 and 100.
Okay.
And now I can put this into the effect by area. And now when I
Excellent.
start it, get all these different colours.
Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly like that opening one. But brilliant. Let's adapt this a little bit. So what you could do now is you could add in other sprites into random areas and create clones and random things. So you might want to you could put in a little bird, maybe, that would fly across the screen at a random interval, or a little animal that would peek out from behind a bush at a random time to make it a much more lifelike meadow. But we haven't got time to do that. But the bird thing does give me an idea, because when I look out in the countryside, I might not see lots of wildlife, but I can certainly hear lots of wildlife. So what I would like is I'd like to have some bird song playing in the background while this is going. So can you tell me how I might do that, James?
So here at the top left, you have your code tab, your costumes tab, and your sounds tab.
Brilliant.
And we don't need to edit the costume. We've done the code, so now we can go over to sounds, and we're not going to use this pop, so we can get rid of that. And at the bottom left here, we can get choose a sound, and we can go to the magnifying glass that says choose a sound. We can go in, and to find a bird, we can go to animals, and you have all these different sounds, and we want the chirp sound.
Can I just, what's a seagull sound? Let's have a listen to that one as well. That would be great for beach, wouldn't it?
Yep, a squawk.
So we've got, what's squawk? No, I think you're
tropical birds.
Go on in, let's listen to tropical birds.
That might be quite nice.
That is quite nice actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's have tropical birds, go on.
So now we can just click on this and it will bring the sound out to here. And you can play it here if you want to. You can edit the sound, but we're not going to do that. We want it to just stay normal. Now what we can do is we can go all the way back to this events tab. We can get out another when green flag clicked.
When do you place it? That's it. Just place it down lower a little bit.
And we can tell this to, if we go to the sounds tab, it's the third one. We can say play sound tropical birds until done.
Okay.
But this will only play it once.
It's quite a long sound, isn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah. So go on. What if we want to play it over and over again?
So we can tell it to play it over and over again by not getting out a repeat loop. We can go down to the control tab and we can get out a forever loop, and that will just repeat this forever and forever. So if we put the tropical bird sound into the forever loop, it's just going to stay on repeat. But that might be, you might want to wait in there. So we can go to the top of the control tab and we can pick another random number. We can go another pick random. And we can say anywhere between 1 and 5 seconds. And now if we put this underneath the play sound tropical birds until done, we should, once the sound is done, take a while.
Taking forever, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's taking quite a long time.
I'll tell you what, let's just to demonstrate, should we go get that chirp sound back?
Yeah.
We'll do it with that one.
So we can go into sounds and we can go here and we can get choose a sound again. And now I'm going to search at this sound because I know what sound I'm looking for. So we can now get chirp. And we can select chirp. And now over here we can tell it to play chirp instead. Put that in. And when we click the green flag, play the chirp sound.
Ah, good, but it's playing it at random intervals, isn't it?
Yeah, with random timings.
Brilliant.
So now our projects, we can edit the size of, we can edit how many files are on the screen. 36. We can have it be 0, which won't do anything. And you can have it be 100 if you want. And the chirp sound will play in the background.
Right then, that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Jimmy. So, you could do other things as well. You could put in another slider, so you could create another variable to change the frequency of the sound. Or to choose even random sounds. So you could get lots of different bird sounds and put them in and get it to choose random ones so it would sound like there's loads of birds or other animals in your scene. Well, thank you very much, Jimmy, for that. That's a fantastic little tutorial you've done for us. We're going to say goodbye now, but before I go, I would like you to share your projects with us. So if you make your own meadow and you've customised it up a bit and you'd like to show it with us, then please click on that share button in Scratch. I'll just go back to the web browser. This share button here in Scratch will get the URL, this copy link down here. Okay, so that will get you the URL of your project, and then you can share that with us at rpf.io/home. So that's rpf.io/home to share your projects with us so we can look at all the fantastic work you guys have done. Right, we're going to leave you now, so thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I shall see you all next week. So, bye-bye.
Bye.